Okay, so this is me coming at y'all real frustrated. I really wanted to try to find some sort of ground cover for my garden to help with weed control because I have a lot going on and I don't have time to weed 24/7 every waking moment and hour of the day. So a lot of people that I know use like weed cover fabric, which is great. It's a little bit pricey. So wasn't quite ready to jump into that this year because it's my first year trying to do 3 gardens for real. And while I'm super dedicated to it, I also have a special needs foster kiddo and a soon to be 8-month-old, and I just know reality is that I might not be able to make it happen. I really want to make it happen and have 3 gardens is my goal. Not discounting it at all, but I just know that something to help with weeds would be really beneficial. So one of the options, there's like several options. You can mulch, you can do the ground cover fabric, you can do butcher paper, which is kind of what we had thought to do. So TJ had brought me several rolls of butcher paper. I used a full roll to do pretty much, there's like a tiny bit left, but I used the full thing to do this much, literally like 2 sides of this triangle garden. And I'll come back down here. As you can tell, I tried to use ground stakes in it, and they like literally, if I try to move the paper, rip right out. There's already rips in this paper, which when he told me to try butcher paper, the first thing that I said is it doesn't sound very durable. I really didn't like that option. Should have gone with my gut because I feel like we wasted money trying this. And we have random cats all over out here that think everything you put out is a toy. So while I was trying to put it down, they were all over it as well. So as you can see, there's already rips and tears all over it. It's the first time I've even touched it. So, I don't know. The reason that I did not want to kind of have to do this is because the more dirt you have on your cover, the more you encourage weeds to grow on it and through it. The goal is not to have to weed with this stuff down. So I have come back through and I did half of this one, but it's getting dark and the baby's upset. So I'm going to stop for tonight. That one is at least staked down, so hopefully it will stay overnight. I'm going to go do some research and see what I can find on this, see if there's anything I need to do differently. But as of right now, garden isn't even planted and I'm super frustrated with it. So there is that. Okay, so it is the next morning. It is a beautiful day out. I am in a little better mood than I was last night. Thankfully, my baby is also in a better mood, so we're doing pretty good. I'm still kind of frustrated at this, but I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm not gonna knock it till I try it. I have not really found anything that supports what I'm trying to do, so I don't know what that means, but maybe I am being innovative and I will help somebody out. A lot of the times I've seen people use this and they do this in with the butcher paper, but they put mulch on it. I do not want to do that. But as you can see, I did, against my better judgment, went through and covered the edges of both sides here with dirt. Had I known that that was what I was going to have to do, I would have backed these up a little bit and not put them right along the grass line, but both sides here are like that, so that might be an issue later. I'm not really sure, but again, that wasn't my original plan, so I'm not going to try to get the paper up and move it again because it will just destroy it more than already is destroyed. So we'll see how that goes. I need to get another roll out here and put another line. Today I'm just gonna do tomatoes and peppers. TJ and I talked this morning, and TJ said he had looked a little bit in planting seeds in soil that is, I think, less than 60 degrees, he said, can make them have difficulties with germinating. So that just means that they won't grow the way that they are supposed to. So we are going to wait on the seeds, and I do have some seeds that are going in this garden, but I am going to just go ahead and give the plants that I have a shot today. Hopefully I can get them done. I have tomato and pepper plants that I want to try to start in the ground today. It's going to be a pretty deep process. Again, I just filled the edging of this here, and then I will go back through and put down another row here. I'll leave a little bit of a walkway, which I also did not want to do, but I guess I'm gonna have to do anyway. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. So here's where I am now. I have rolled out a second line on each side here. It actually went down quite quickly, which I was pretty excited about. I went ahead, figured as experimental as it's going to get at this point, I went ahead and just lined them up together. I was going to leave more of a walkway, but I really just ended up putting the second piece along the covered portion of the sorry, it was really loud, covered portion of the first layer, so there's not going to be too much of a walkway. I never really wanted there to be, so again, I'm really worried about this dirt here that's like along this edge. I'm assuming that there's going to be weeds that come up from that, so I was even brainstorming some ideas while I was doing this, so we'll see what I can come up with. But for now, this is what I have. I did both sides. I went ahead and just staked down the side that's in the middle here all the way down. Same on this one over here. I covered the edge on the outside, and I staked down this edge all the way down. So that is where I am now. Now I need to measure out distances on each for the tomatoes and peppers I'm going to do. So it's going to be tomatoes all the way around on the first side and peppers all the way around on the second row. So now what I've done is I brought out a tape measure and I put a dot essentially every 3 feet. Clearly my rows aren't super straight, just kind of where the tape measure ended up, but they're at least spaced out correctly lengthwise. I can fix this when I make holes anyway, so I'm not super worried about it. But I marked this all out using spray paint and a tape measure. Now I need to go do the other side too. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm kind of just walking along here every 3 feet. I put a mark with the spray paint. On both sides. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't necessarily mean this is exactly where my circle is going, but it just gives me a general spacing, and I can fix what I need to fix when I make my holes, which could be an adventure, so stay tuned. So I have this all done now. It's all marked out. Now I need to make holes. The people that I like to watch usually use some sort of circular fire thing to make a hole, like a propane, butane burner, or like a can that's been heated with charcoal. I told TJ I needed fire. He told me to use a blowtorch. So I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. If I set this whole thing on fire, I will cry. Thankfully, TJ's on the fire department, although I should probably not promote that as I'm doing this because this is probably definitely a fire hazard, so sorry. But let me try to see if this will work. This isn't hard to use. You can see you just push a button and it goes like that. So let's see if it will make a hole. Well, definitely started it on fire, but I don't want the whole thing to go up in flames, so see if it'll stop. And don't think it's gonna stop, so that's lovely. We'll just put that out real quick and come up with a plan B. The fire is out, nothing is hurt. There's a nice hole for me. More my pride than anything. So I ended up doing what I did not want to do, and I ended up cutting all these circles out by hand with a little razor. So pretty much the butcher paper is now like 5 and Amy is 0 on the scale of winning with this. I am officially not a fan, but I have not seen how plants grow in it, so I cannot make my full judgment yet. But installation and work to put it in and all of that is a 0 and is already halfway trashed from putting it in, and I just feel like it is not going to work. But that is the negative Nancy in me. We shall see. We shall see. But I will be here with my little razor knife cutting these circles out for 20 minutes or so. Hi. Well, we have tomatoes and some peppers in the ground. We also have paper flying everywhere. So there's that. Definitely wasted my time putting the paper down, but at this point, there's not a lot that I can do about it, and just need to move along. So, yeah, I got a whole row of tomatoes, which makes me really happy. I also have these tomatoes up here that I want to plant still. They'll go in the first row on this side, but again, the paper situation I'm going to have to handle before I can do anything with them. But I got these at the auction probably 2 weeks ago, and then I had them in a room that rabbits were in, and I had them up high, but I didn't know that these rabbits could climb. And they were in my house for one day, and they had been eaten, all of them. There's like 48 plants here, so that was rough, but hopefully it looks like these ones are coming back. I also had a tray of broccoli, and that is in a lot worse shape than these tomatoes, so they look like they're growing leaves, so I think I am going to go ahead and plant some of them anyway, see if we get anything. Happy Mother's Day 2021! So we got rain last night. I think I shared that I planted in these 2 rows here yesterday some tomatoes and some peppers. So let's take a look at how they fared in the rain. Okay, we're alright. We're gonna get rid of this paper. But yeah. Go ahead and get this off of here. So you can see, ooh, these are peppers right here. And then these are all tomatoes. So I'm glad that I got them in yesterday so that they could get a little bit of rain. So yeah, that was positive. Pretty sad that my paper situation isn't gonna work out, but just means that I will get some good exercise with my weeding this summer. So we're gonna go ahead and pull this paper up today, make sure these plants are good to go, And yeah, go from there. We bought, oh, I guess they're not out here yet. I bought more pepper plants, because I think these are green peppers. Well, I think we actually have a few different kinds. That's a sweet pepper. But I bought like yellow and orange and red peppers at the store, or no, the auction, sorry, yesterday. So that's exciting to me, anyway. So this is what we thought of my paper. It is done now, but that's alright. So right now we ripped the paper up, we're burning it, and now TJ is taking a weed burner. And there was some grass that had come up where the paper was down, so we're going to try to get rid of some of that at least. Just eliminate a little bit of what I need to go through and take out by hand with like a hoe or something like that. And then, so these are all my plants that are labeled, so that's kind of exciting. I have so many more to do, but I did get these ones in before the rain last night, so that's pretty exciting. So now we have all these 5-gallon buckets. And something that we do, TJ kind of has done for a long time, because he works for a water treatment business. He has lots of 5-gallon buckets. We put these over our tomatoes and our peppers to start them while they're still this size of a plant, so that it protects them, A, from a lot of the wind and things like that, but B, it's essentially like a little greenhouse. It's like a little personal greenhouse for the plant, and it traps the sun in there and it helps them to grow. So then after that, we'll transition them to like a cage or some type of fencing to stand up. If you haven't ever done tomatoes or peppers, a lot of the times they'll get tall enough that they'll fall over if they get to a certain size. So typically you use a tomato cage or like a stick and some fencing or something like that. So we have tomato cages and fencing that we usually use. I'm guessing that's probably what we'll do this year again, but we also have so many that we may have to come up with another plan, and I don't know what that will look like. So yeah, but we do have the 5-gallon buckets laid out, so I'm gonna go through, I'll start that so that you can see. Start down here. These are my celebrity tomatoes. I have several different types of tomatoes. So here's a celebrity plant. So what I'm going to do is I have the 5-gallon bucket. The plant's right there. I'm going to kind of center the bucket around the plant. Give it a good little push so that it kind of gets stuck down in the dirt a little bit. Because they will blow away if they don't get stuck. But it's pretty nice today. We just got rain, so hopefully we'll be able to get them in there pretty far. TJ will probably do a better job because he's stronger than me. But yeah, soil's good for it today because we just got rain. So these are all celebrity tomatoes. And then this one is the last celebrity. I'm gonna kind of do what he's doing, pack this one a little bit in dirt. Get that further in there. And then these ones are sweet cherries. They're called Sweet 100s. So these ones are all cherries. This one's got some weeds that had grown around it already. So let me pull those out really quick. I did not put the bucket on these ones right away because he's gonna bring me some 1-gallon size, and I'm gonna put those on these because they're a little bit smaller and they can last a couple more days. We will do the same with the pepper plants. My pepper roast ends here right now. I have that much more to plant, but we have gotten some jalapenos today, so I'm going to do those on this row. And then I got a bunch of other varieties and colors of peppers that I will do a different day. I bought them yesterday, so we will put 1 gallon jugs on those. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're making their little mini greenhouses and getting stuff burnt up here. So since we got rid of my paper, we have to go back through and put in the marks for the rows. So here we are doing that. But I have help this time. TJ's gonna drill the holes so then we don't lose what we've done. So that is what we're doing right now. I'm just going every 3 feet. And then I'm spraying on both sides. We have 2 rows. And yeah. So now we have all of the holes marked, and TJ is going back through and he is drilling the holes. So we have kind of outfitted a stake here. There are actual like augers you can get for your drill that fit on there for you to do this. We did not have one, but
this is actually, it's called a ground anchor for like mobile homes and stuff, to anchor them to the ground. Was about twice as long and had a little loop at the end. I cut it off and made it so that it fit into the drill, and it works real good to just drill out the little holes for our plants we started and just go right down the line and get them all started and dug out.
So I've gone through and I have done some tomatoes already, but I'm coming back through now and putting my plants in little holes. So TJ made it go a lot faster. He's great help. So right now I am planting pepper plants. TJ's gone through and dug a bunch of holes for me, and this row over here is already planted pepper plants and tomato plants in the first row. But when I plant them, he drilled this hole out for me. He did a great job, and they're pretty deep. So I have my little plant here. I have to get it out of its little container. And these are orange peppers or golden peppers. The ones on this side are yellow, and then we're gonna do red ones in this row over here. But I'll label this here. And then I just kind of squeeze the bottom of the thing a little bit to get this guy out of here. And then I'll see if it'll come out. Sometimes these ones have been a little stubborn, they're kind of dry. Take this, if there's a little extra soil in there, I will put that in there too. But I kind of just backfill a little bit so that the little plant can sit on it. Usually I have 2 hands. And cover him up. Make sure his little leaves don't get covered up. But then he can sit in there. Just like that. He's probably a little bit too low, but that's okay. Okay, so we are done with this for today. But we did a really great job. I'm gonna show you what we did. So this row is 2 types of tomatoes. So these are all Roma tomatoes. Up until we get to these really sad ones up here, and that is right here. And these are my big beef tomatoes. I have a bunch more of these, but I'm probably not going to plant a ton of them, only because I want to see how these do. These are the ones that I had in the room with a bunch of rabbits, and they ate them. So these ones are still alive, though. They look like they're, for the most part, going to start putting on leaves again, so we'll just see. If they don't make it, I'm not going to be super disappointed, but they go all the way up until here. And then we have this, which right here is an entire, oh, that nugget is going to dig up. Nugget, no. Choo. This is an entire row of yellow peppers. I believe they're California Wonder yellow peppers. Yellow bell. Okay, so they're yellow bell sweet peppers, but they'll be, yeah. So they go all the way up until the beginning up here. These are all yellow peppers. And then we have Golden California Wonder, which are orange peppers, and they go all the way down here. I'm gonna walk this whole thing like 20 times, but I'm gonna get my exercise in. So then those end here, so those are orange, and then we have these here, which are the King Arthur red bell peppers. So these also go all the way down until we're back to the beginning. And then over here, under my little cage things here, I have tomatoes. So these ones are the Better Boy tomatoes. So they start here and they go up until, I believe, here. And this is a cherry tomato, I believe. And so is one of these is a cherry and one of these is an early girl. I'm not sure which one. And then we have all of these, which this is a cherry tomato. So these are all Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes up until here, and then these are celebrities. So these last few right here. And then on this second row, down here, we have up here, starting here, these are all jalapeno peppers. Until here. And this is a California Wonder green bell pepper right here, all the way up until here, which these are red peppers also, but sweet peppers. So these are small peppers. I didn't actually remember that I had these until I was planting them. These are sweet peppers. So they'll be smaller. They're not the red bell. They're just the sweet peppers. They look like that. Yeah, that is what we have done so far. We have not even really covered half of this garden. Maybe half. And we have 2 more gardens to go. So we are having a blast. So between this whole row right here and this whole row that goes all the way down to the end down there, we have 46 tomato plants. And then we have yellow peppers that go from here all the way down. Orange peppers from here all the way down. and red peppers from here all the way down. And then a few different kinds of peppers, mostly sweet peppers and jalapenos at the end that go from here all the way down, making 90 pepper plants.